Hey Scrap Brothers and Sisters, it's time for a Christmas card, and this one is inspired by a Danish carol. I'm gonna be making a wreath card with an item for every, what's it called? Verse of the song. Now this here it's not the first verse, but it's supposedly a roll of fabric, which is a gift for one of the girls in the song. And the comment from the guy singing, the author, is that she's expensive, but she's a good seamstress. So here she gets a length of cloth for making her winter coat. And I'm gonna paper piece these later on. I didn't feel like coloring them, and I'm gonna make a mistake stamping them also. So it's well, work in progress. I'm gonna speed things up here. Yeah, because otherwise we'll be here all day watching me stamp these, because there's a lot of images. This is a homemade wreath builder. I saw quite a few people who did their own online, and I tried it out myself. Here's a doll. It's for another of the girls. The song is, it takes place on Christmas Eve, and this is the father of the family singing about what they're doing. Now here is another package. It's for the grandfather. He's gonna get a hat, and the comment is that the guy singing, the father of the family, is he didn't knit the hat, but he did hold the yarn while he did it, while someone else knitted it. And here is a few drums for one of the boys. Although he's not permitted to be drumming at all before the song is over. These are the candy cane and the coins. The first verse is about the tree being festive, but when the dancing is over, we dance about the Christmas tree, you get to eat it. We put edible things on the tree. Therefore, you get to eat the tree later. The coins are for the very last verse, wherein the mother gets a purse full of money because Christmas is expensive. And here is a flag. I'm gonna draw in some lines on it because it has to be our national flag, because one of the boys is getting a flag for Christmas. I think he is gonna join the military or something. And it's apparently a great honor to be given a flag. I don't know why a kid would want one, but well, it was different time. And I'm filling in the card pretty decently, as you see. And now I will color all the little images, or first drawing the parts here with the flags. Oh yeah, and excuse the dog, it gets in the way sometimes. Right now he's sleeping. So I made this over quite a few days, since I still have a lot of problems with the desk sitting. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. The dog is unhappy that I'm not on the couch so he can lie on me. I forgot one of the flags, and I'm just putting it in here. I'm gonna color all the little images with my Shin twin touch markers, but I've cut it out of the video, otherwise again we would be here till the end of time almost. But oh, still the flags. Damn, that takes a long time. In video time, that is. Gonna keep to technically 3 colors, reds, yellows and blues. There'll be a tiny bit of brown, but mostly it'll be these 3 colors. The red and the blues comes from this pattern paper. It's an Echo Park paper pad, and I deliberately went looking for patterns with a lot of smaller objects, since the fabric is well, it's kind of small, so big print will just be confusing on this card. I'm sorry. Yeah, just using my MISTI tool here to get the fabric as close as possible. I'm gonna fussy cut them out, line them with the Memento marker for a neat look. I'm just gonna cut a strip for the other color. I opted for 2 colors. Otherwise, I think it'll be a bit boring to look at. And so this is the red one. And I make a test stamp on the paper so that I can easily line up the paper to get as much out of it as possible. This was a fun card. Very fun. And when I saw the Lawn Fawn stamp set with the Christmas helpers, I noticed the doll and then the drum, and I figured, hey, what about the last few elements? And I went in research, of course, to make sure I remembered all of the verses, and I had with these elements. And here we go. I'm starting out with some yellows for the doll hair. Oh yeah, there are also a few flesh tone. No, one flesh tone. The face is so small on this doll, I didn't want to bother with shading. And again, it's a doll, it's not a human, so it should look a bit cartoonish. Well, I'm gonna cut in here with my color combo swat. I'm gonna put this on Pinterest as well, and hopefully some people find this helpful. I know a lot of people do Copic colors. There's a lot of help for it out there, but I opted for a cheaper version, which is still a bit expensive. This is they're also refillable. You can change the nibs as well, but they're a bit cheaper than the Copics. I just do a tiny bit of shading on the fabric rolls before I glue them on. Yeah, not much else to say. I wish I could play you the song though, but you know, copyrights and all, that'll be difficult, and you do not want me to sing it to you. I know text. I am great with lyrics. I'm just not very great with melody and hitting the notes. So I love singing. That's not it at all. I just know that people don't love hearing me do it. I use a multimedia mat for gluing this on in case any of it oozes out. I want to get the glue all the way up to the edges, but if it oozes out, I don't want there to be any shiny marks. And since this piece of the song, the fabric, was so big, the reef got really, really intense, but I still like it. I wouldn't do 50 of these and send them to my friends, but this one was fun. Apart from the Lawn Fawn Lovers collaboration card from last month and the one I'm gonna make this month, this is the only Christmas card I got to do this year. So I'm pretty happy. Rounding the corners. Normally you would get a more round reef, but not this time. I have the sentiment with the title of the song, High Upon a Christmas Tree, I believe is the English, oh, there's the dog, version. Højt fra træets grønne top is the Danish one. And I have put it on a Steward Black cardstock, but it didn't work out for some reason. It just couldn't get it to fit. But I'm gonna put some dark green behind the reef. Since the song is about the Christmas tree, I figured I should represent that as well on the card. So I'm doing that with this green color, and I'm gonna put some of these punched branches behind once I figure it out. Right there. On 2 corners I'm gonna make a gathering of tree branches in a few different green colors. I didn't ink them with distressings or anything. I just rummaged around my stash to find different green colors. And this is where I give up on the sentiment. Though the sentiment will make it onto the card, just in a different way. Let's see. And just trim off the... I made it a tiny bit too big, the mat for the card, and that was on purpose. And some foam tape, of course. Can't live without foam tape, can you? I'm pretty happy with this, actually. So I'm just gonna need a piece of cardstock to glue the branches on, so I don't have to fiddle with the panel and ruin it. As you see here, I will be pushing them around, gluing them down. I have to say I like this punch. Sometimes it seems a bit too big, but then again, I could cut them down. In this case, it was a good thing they were so long, otherwise it would have looked weird. Yeah. Well, there's not much else to say about this part of the card, I guess. It took some time to dry. I was pretty heavy with the glue. I didn't want anything to run away from the card. So I'm just checking out if it's quite right. I'm filling in and spreading the glue around, leaving them to dry. Hopefully. Ah, yes, trying it out one more time. Ooh. So here I found the solution for my problem. I'm gonna stamp the sentiment and musical note repeatedly on the background, and I'm just using some tape to get the first few lines straight. And I'm gonna cut this because the only thing you're gonna see is the back of my head doing this. So here it is when it's almost all done. It looks quite nice, actually. I just left it to dry while I cleaned up, and the glue's dry on the branches, so I can attach the main panel. Oh yeah, I attached the branches to the panel first. It's easier than trying to line it up on the card before I put the panel on. That would just be ridiculous. Like that. This is the magical part, so to speak, when it all comes together. Now you can't see the whole sentiment, but there is enough of it that you can make out what it is all about. Now I'm just gonna need some glitter on my coins. I did contemplate putting it on the doll's dress, but I don't know. I just didn't. And there will be no sequins or the embellishments. I just wanted to keep it simple with all the coloring I did and the paper piecing. Should be quite fine. And I've now noticed this card is quite versatile. It could go vertical or horizontal. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week for Lawn Fun Lovers collaboration. Have a nice day.